Hey guys, it's Danielle here to chat with you about homeschooling. I have had a couple of people ask me about schooling with toddlers. So, what do I do with my toddlers while I am doing school with my bigger kids? And I've also had the question of what age did I start schooling my bigger kids? And so, as you know, I have a 2-year-old and a 1-year-old. And so, what I do with my toddlers while I am doing school with my bigger kids is I basically come from a Montessori approach with my toddlers. And what that means is that learning is all about having fun and exploring and encouraging your kids to want to gain more knowledge, and really having a love for learning. And so that's kind of what we do with my toddlers. And so what that will look like is when I'm doing school with my bigger kids, I usually have something hands-on for my toddlers to do. And so it's something that's learning that they're learning from. However, it's fun, it's hands-on, it's interactive, and it doesn't feel like school for them. Because if you can get a toddler to sit down at a desk and do some work, you're a miracle worker. Let me just say that, because I'm not getting my toddler to sit down for a long period of time and do some work. So usually I have something that is very hands-on and fun and interactive for them to do. And so things that I have done with my toddlers in tot school is I have done things like have a bowl of ice with water, and then they will scoop the ice out and put it into another bowl. This, of course, is working on fine motor skills. I've used ice. I've used the little floaty balls that you can get at the dollar store. I have, of course, given them chalk, and they can write on the chalkboard. If you have a chalkboard wall in your schoolroom, toddlers love it. Chalk on a wall, put those two together, they're in heaven. I have also given them the little markers that you write on your car with, and let them write on our patio door on the window part. And so they had a great time just getting down, writing on that. That kept them busy, for minutes, if not at least an hour. And so we've done that. When I want to do something that is a little more structured, with my 2-year-old, I have given him blocks in all arrays of colors, red, blue, yellow, primary colors, and then a bin, a red bin, a blue bin, and a yellow bin, and have him sort those things into those colors. I've done that with his little Hot Wheel cars. He loves that. He doesn't feel like he's doing school. I've given him a ball and said, throw the ball in the red bin. And so he's sitting there, throwing the ball, the red ball, in the red bin, not knowing that what he's doing is sorting and learning his colors at the same time. And so these are the things that I will typically do with my toddlers, or have my toddlers doing while I am doing school with my bigger kids. A funny thing with my 2-year-old, this is what I mean by school with toddlers can be spontaneous and fun. I have this thought, or this saying, positive thoughts bring positive results. That's kind of my motto. And so now when I get in my car, I say, okay, every light is going to be green. Every light is going to be green. And if it's not green, you're only going to sit there for 10 seconds. And so when I come to a stoplight, I'm counting to 10. Well, my 2-year-old has picked up on that. And so now every time we stop at a stoplight, he starts counting. So here recently, we were at a stoplight and he started counting. We sat at that stoplight for a little bit longer than 10 seconds. And then we got stopped at the next stoplight. And he was like, let's finish counting. And he wanted to finish counting from the number that he had stopped at. So I thought, wow, okay, this is school, without him even knowing that he is doing school. So this is a prime example of how school can be spontaneous, how it can be fun, how they can enjoy it, and how we can encourage their love for learning, because at this age they are sponges and they just want to soak everything up. And so I feel like for us as parents, the job is to encourage them to continue to love learning and love having a joy for learning. And so that kind of brings me to, at what age did I start schooling? I didn't start doing school with my children until they were about 5.5, close to 6. Um, for me, it's all about knowing your child. I feel like one of the joys and the beauties of homeschooling is that we do not have to rush everything. Everything doesn't have to be on this strict timeline in this little box. We can say, okay, my child's ready for that, or my child's not ready for that. So we're going to take our time, or we're going to stay here on this concept for a little bit longer because they need that, or they've mastered that concept. We can skip right on through that and go to something else a little more difficult. And so for me, it's all about knowing your child. So to say when is the good age to definitively sit down and start having school with your child, that's going to be for you as a parent to decide. For me, I wanted to foster a love for learning. I wanted them to just enjoy that age of being a toddler and not say, okay, let's sit down and do school. So I didn't buy a curriculum for my kids until they were about 5.5, and then started following that particular curriculum. Before then, I did a lot of Montessori stuff with them. Pinterest is my best friend. They have great ideas for different Montessori type school ideas. So I did a lot of Montessori with them up until they were at the age where I felt like, okay, we may can get a workbook and start working our way through that kind of stuff. And even now, as my oldest is in the 5th grade, I still try to do a lot of Montessori type activities with her. She just learns a lot better that way when it's hands-on, it's fun. She doesn't feel like, she's stuck at her desk and kind of boggled down by a book. And so for the key thing to remember, I think, is toddlers are busy. So find something that's going to keep them busy, keep them active, but also in the same room with you where they feel like they are part of it. My 2-year-old loves to feel like he's doing school like the big kids. So you definitely want to make them feel like they are a part of school, but make sure it's something that's age appropriate and fun and have hands-on with them. And also when to start, that is strictly up to you as a parent and knowing your child. My advice is don't rush it. Let them be little. Let them enjoy this stage of life and then kind of move into each stage slowly, but just really enjoy each stage. There's no rush. They have the rest of their life to be, little adults, so to speak. So that is kind of my beliefs, my take on homeschooling with a toddler and when to begin schooling your toddler. If you guys have any questions or concerns, or you want to add to that, then feel free to do so. Leave your comments. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will chat with you guys soon. Bye. Say bye-bye. Say bye, Charlie.